The Internal Revenue Service is dropping a controversial plan to use facial recognition software. The IRS announces today it will transition away from using the service ID Me, which would require users to submit a video selfie in order to prove their identity and access online tax information. The plan faced heavy criticism, with opponents citing privacy and equity concerns as well as issues over data vulnerability. In a statement announcing the decision, the IRS says it, quote, takes taxpayer privacy and security seriously, and we understand the concerns that have been raised. Everyone should feel comfortable with how their personal information is secured, and we are quickly pursuing short-term options that do not involve facial recognition. And joining us with more on concerns over the software and what the implications of the technology could be if used by other entities are Edwin Yanka, Director of Communications and Public Policy at the American Civil Liberties Union of Illinois, and Christian Hammond, a computer science professor at Northwestern University. Welcome both of you back to Chicago tonight. Ed Yanka, first of all, why do you think the IRS late this afternoon decided to change course on using this facial recognition software?
Well, I think it was just a bad idea that everybody objected to for one reason or another. But fundamentally, I think at the end of the day, what you see is this effort to move people towards facial recognition and to open up our data to all kinds of intrusions is something that people are going to rebel against at some level. And it turns out, when you think about all of the personal data one shares with the IRS, that may have been the limit for many, many people.
And this IRS plan for people to use facial recognition to access numerous services, including file tax returns online, was very controversial. Chris Hammond, is there proof, though, that facial recognition does help in terms of securing people's data and authentication for identification?
There's hardly proof. I mean, the technology, the thing that struck me when I first heard the announcement was that the IRS was putting together a repository of incredibly valuable information and putting it behind a wall and saying, come on, try to break it down. And every hacker in the known universe was going to go after it. I mean, just as the facial recognition technology has gotten better, deep fake technology has gotten better. And all of our faces are already out there. And it was, aside from the fact that the technology is fraught and people are upset, it was just a bad idea from a pure functional point of view.
Well, how fraught is your data when you're using facial recognition software in a program like this, stored by a third party here by the government? Ed Yanka.
Well, you know, one of the problems is, of course, when it's stored by a third party, you know, there is no regulation, there's no control over it. And certainly we've seen all of the problems that Chris has referred to in terms of people hacking and accessing that data. But the other part of it is, of course, that it is this data that you are sharing with the government for the purposes of revenue and taxes that is now being shared with a third party and made available and vulnerable in that way, that undermines the basic core of what the government is supposed to do to protect us.
Chris Hammond, are there other methods that could be more effective and less vulnerable that the IRS could use?
Oh, certainly. I mean, for most people, they do multi-factor authentication now. You log in and you get a phone call from the site to see if it's you. So you have to know your user ID, your password, and you have to have a phone which is already associated with the account. You could layer on top of that. I'm going to now ask you 5 questions about where you've lived, what cars you've owned, where you've worked, that I already know about you, and we'll go through that process. So you can have layer upon layer upon layer, including facial recognition if you really want it. But fingerprints are probably a little bit better. It's just that the facial recognition technology, aside from the fact that so many people are angry about it because, in fact, mistakes were made across the board as the technology was being developed, and you got these bias and technologies which really felt racist to begin with. Aside from that, the whole point of mechanisms for protecting you, protecting your data, the whole point is to have things that you aren't already sharing with the world. And if you are using the one thing that you share with the world all the time as a way of stopping people from getting your data, that was a ridiculous idea to begin with.
Opening up a new can of worms. And Bianca, I want to pick up on that racism part. Why is facial recognition software under scrutiny for race and equity problems?
So again and again, one of the things that's been seen as facial technology has been rolled out, even when they claimed it's improved, is that it fails to read the faces of people of color with the same, without mistakes, without errors. You may have seen a few years ago, for example, the famous thing that was done when somebody used one of these systems to run them against mugshots for all the members of Congress. And it turned out you got a number of positive hits, and they happen to be all members of the Black Caucus. There are a number of different places and times in which that is exactly the kind of bias that these systems have exhibited on a small level. Imagine that applied to the entire country.
Chris Hammond, you mentioned that facial recognition is being foisted on a lot of folks. How widespread is the use of this, either by public entities or private companies?
Well, I mean, there are certainly things like, your phone, facial recognition for your phone. Certainly, some levels of some level of identification when you're trying to get into spaces. And there, there's not a lot of danger to that version, to using the technologies in that way. And I think the important thing here is, it's not just, first of all, it's not the technology, it was the data that was used to train it. And the second thing is that the functionality of the technology only, or bad functionality of the technology only matters when it's in an application where that functionality is going to cause trouble or cause inequity. And so on your phone, having it be you've got facial recognition on your phone, that's just not, the bias is uninteresting. That doesn't mean anything. It's just recognizing you, and that's it. Facial recognition for getting people into buildings, it's all your employees are there, and it's doing that. There are all sorts of really great ways you could use the technology, but you don't want to use it in those places where it's doing that level of protection.
And of course, Illinois has a tough biometrics law which prevents the sharing of that kind of facial recognition or other biometric information, which you've both talked about and is a subject for another day. But for now, our thanks to Ed Bianca and Chris Hammond.
Thank you.
Thanks.